All right, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great Thursday. I do apologize for not being around yesterday. It was kind of hectic yesterday. It was kind of chaotic, is the word. Was handling a lot of things behind the scenes. I am leaving tomorrow morning to go to Toronto, but I have two shows to do this weekend. Tomorrow night, we'll be doing the Capcom Pro Tour West World Warrior East 5 tournament from Canada. Then Saturday, we'll be doing the CPT World Warrior Canada East Finals. So we have a lot going on. We have a lot to do and all that other stuff. And seeing as these tournaments mostly take place online, I figured why not talk about something subjective to me. It's Tech Talk Thursday. I haven't done one of these in a long time. I haven't had much inspiration to drive from in order to do this. But let's see. So what's going on, guys? Hi, Saki. What's up, Dazen? So we're gonna talk about things and whatnot. Now, in the world of production, stuff like that, we have programs like XSplit, we have programs like OBS, we have programs like Wirecast, we have programs like vMix, which we're going to be talking about very heavily today. But today, I feel like today's the day that I'm going to talk about vMix, and we're going to go over everything vMix. But there's so many different things that you guys can use. When you guys go to tournaments, whether it be Tampa Never Sleeps, Low Kick Esports, TSB, Teen Spooky, um, KPB Live. I'm just like naming Level Up. I'm naming like as many of these FGC production crews that do this type of stuff. What are the tools that they basically use? A majority of them will either use OBS. XSplit kind of fell off. XSplit was once king. It's fallen off mostly because OBS has a slew of plugins that we can actually use. But there's a lot of times that we have to incorporate third party devices. We have to incorporate third party software in order for those things to actually be a part of these things. You guys use vMix for production stuff? So you're trying to absorb my wisdom? Awesome. vMix, to be honest with you, is something that I started picking up on back in 2015. 2014, 2015, I started messing around with it because I was looking for ways to actually bring instant replay to FGC and do it in a way that actually worked. Um, Tenno's another production crew that also does things too. I remember seeing Tenno do this. They did it hardware based, which, for someone like myself, I like hardware based. Hardware based instant replay is by far one of the best ways. It's just that, there aren't that many devices that are specific for that. So I believe with Ross, you have Midas. For TV, there's EVS, and for vMix, you have vMix Replay. But there's another one that I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, that's right. New Tech has this thing called a 3Play, which is replay, and it's able to take in like 4 cameras. You could mix all of the stuff on there. It's similar to an EVS, but it's not an EVS. EVS is kind of the standard for TV. A lot of esports now uses. You used to work with Vince? Ooh. So yeah, a lot of I'm actually going to see Vince tomorrow. Vince is actually picking me up from the airport. But a lot of esports that I've noticed have been moving to EVS. So if you ever look at a League of Legends stream, a Valorant stream, stuff like that, one of the guys who kind of inspired me to do this particular type of stream. Now, his name is Atrux. He basically uses EVS for all of his Riot gigs and stuff like that, and it is phenomenal. He puts up reels and stuff like that, and all that stuff. If you ever need that, just DM me anywhere, and I'll send you the link. I'll send you if you want to get more in depth with the vMix stuff. He's the best person to talk to because that man has created a ton of guides already, and literally it's the best. But I'm gonna get back to my backstory. Back in like 2014, 2015, looking for a way to bring in replay. Like I said, there was at the time there was literally vMix 3Play. I didn't know anything about Midas, EVS, or anything like that, so I wasn't touching it because I wasn't like, okay, I'm not trying to go full TV. I'm not there yet. EVSs are expensive, also. Uh, so I started messing around with vMix then, and it's like I just started doing little things, and then I started getting to do. I started doing a little bit more music stuff. So I started doing stuff for Columbia Music, Sony Music, Warner Music, and stuff like that. And it got to the point where we basically started having like these little remote sessions where we needed to get someone from California and this person that was sitting in New York to be able to talk to each other. Like there was this one time I did this show, and this is gonna seem like I'm just name dropping, but William Shatner and Joe Jonas were introducing William Shatner's fourth album. Might be his fifth, not 100% sure. Someone could fact check that for me. How many albums has William Shatner put out? Whatever it was last year, that was that number. And we basically needed to get the two of them talking so that this way we could actually do a live stream to get that out there. So what we did was put one on a vMix. I put them both on vMix calls. They were able to talk to each other. And yeah, vMix call is literally by far the best there is to bring people in remotely, properly into a production environment and just do things. Now, I remember back in the days, we used to do this with Skype because Skype had like the NDI and all this other stuff. So if you remember a show like the On Blast show, you might not remember it. James MK, who used to host that show, he used to love using Skype to bring people in, have them talk and this and the other. Being that this is an FGC environment, I tend to look at a lot of the online tournaments and see how they do things. And one thing I do notice is that I'll see a lot of times they'll just use Discord. They'll throw a program feed from OBS into Discord and let people commentate off of that, or they'll window it, capture it, show it there. There's nothing really wrong with that, but at times it can act kind of finicky. Discord, to be honest with you, it's heavily populated, and there's a ton. What's up, the Captain Troy? The On Blast show, Throwback Thursdays, exactly. But Discord gets very congested, and a lot of times you will start seeing that in some people's video quality where it starts to get worse or get better, and it just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and we tend to see this quite a lot. What I'm basically trying to say is, while yes, Discord's a great way to actually do this type of thing, I feel like if you're trying to do it in a great way, it's iffy. It's hit or miss. Because like I said, your commentators might miss a combo or something because of those network constraints that's happening on Discord. But vMix call kind of alleviates that. You could actually set up vMix call to actually have a direct link to you. So it could be like you are the server. When they click on that link, you are the person that they connect to. They're not going from here to there and this and the other. What I'm going to do is I'm basically going to open up vMix here now, and we're going to go to that actual input. So you're not going to see me anymore. I could put myself in there. I'm not sure. So let me see. Which is my vMix machine? This is my vMix machine. All right, so we're going to go over to the vMix machine. So this is our vMix machine right here. As you can see, pretty basic machine. This is by far one of my this is my baby. It's the love of my life. I call it the Bifu Beast. You don't necessarily have to build one yourself, but it kind of helps with a lot of things. But either way, specs don't really matter. You know what the specs are to get into production and all that good stuff. So now, what I want to do is I want to open up vMix now. This way we could go through this. So upon opening vMix, upon installing vMix, if you do purchase it, you do get 60 days for free. So if you do want to give it a try, give it a spin, see how things are, you're definitely capable of doing so. You could definitely jump in. It's 100% free for you to download and install. It only costs. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my internet right now. Is the stream all right for you guys?
Tanya said I just broke up too.
Yeah. What'd you say, Alexis?
Tanya said I just broke up on Discord too.
Yeah, stream is fine. Stream is fine, but something is going on. Either way, yeah, I believe it is $60 a month. We could actually check it out on the website right now. Hold on, let's minimize this real quick. I'm just stream seems to be fine, but for some strange reason, it's telling me I'm only streaming at one meg right now, which doesn't seem right. Let's put this here.
We find something more permanent and we can build out the studio faster.
You know what? I'm not even gonna worry about it. It's probably because there's not much going on. It's just a black screen and all this other stuff. Because I bet you if I go back to my camera, it jumps right the fuck back up. So that's all it was. It's all good. It's because it's very low. You're so used to seeing things push out at like 6,000 kilobits and all that stuff. Anyway, it's all good. We're all good. All right, so this machine basically, if we go to vMix's website, I haven't opened Chrome on this machine in forever. Yes, I do have ad block, even though I have Twitch Turbo. I have it for other reasons. So if we head on over to vMix and we go to, I believe purchase is $50 a month. So $50 a month subscription. You basically get full access to the full pro license. Basically, that allows you 4 overlay channels. You can basically, your maximum resolution is 4K DCI, which is basically cinema talk. So if you're doing cinema, you could do 4096 by 2160, which is traditional 4K, which is cinema 4K rather. Let me say it that way. It's cinema 4K. You could have 2 recorders. You can stream to 3 simultaneous live streams, which all of them do. Some of the things that you do get things to access to rather when you do pay the $50. GT Designer Advanced, which is by far one of the best things. We're actually going to be using that this weekend when we are in Toronto for the Toronto finals on Saturday. vMix calls, you're allowed 8 cameras for instant replay, which I thought would never ever come, but it has, and I'm so fucking happy. You get 2 external outputs, 2 full screen outputs, and 4 virtual outputs, meaning you could basically have like you could basically set up a studio kind of like how we do with the multi-view. You could kind of do the same thing. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. I love it. It's great. I'm currently using an A10, which uses multi-view. So my multi-view is over here. So if you see me looking over there, it's because I'm looking at something that's taking place. Either way, PTZ controller, you can also do vertical with it. So now if you wanted to stream something to TikTok or anything like that, you're able to do all of those things with the subscription. So I actually love the fact that the subscription gives you access to all of this stuff, because one thing I would have loved to do is being able to actually pull off a stream on Twitter as well as TikTok that's unique to your experience that you would see on Twitch, because being that it's vertical, you could do so many different things. So that's what we can't wait to look forward to. All right. So let's get into to vMix. So upon opening vMix, when you first open it, it kind of gives you this drop down where it's like, hey, which resolution would you like to work in and all that stuff. So you can basically set that there. Now, being that we're setting this up for online, I want to set this up a particular way. So normally what I do is I like to go into settings. I'll go to my audio outputs. And in your audio outputs, you have these A through G. So these are kind of like buses. So if you are used to working with a physical mixer, like perfect example, we have an X32 rack within our team. We have one or two. We have two within our team that we basically have. We have an X32 and M32. Lovely mixer. I can't get enough of it. At first, I was very hesitant with buying it because it was Behringer, and I fell in love with it after doing Golden Letters 1, and I was like, I have to have it. So as soon as I got back home, in fact, before I got back home, I ordered that with an X Touch and love it. Now, with vMix, you have to think of vMix, everything has to be done there. Yeah, see? Look, you're going to start noticing that there's a lot of similarities here with us. So now when we look at the audio outputs, you have these extra ones here. You have A, B, C, D, E. I like to enable all of them because of the simple fact that it gives me extra buses. So imagine having like extra buses that you could put audio to that you could just listen to. So this way you could hear what those things sound like individually. So imagine trying to point out where white noise is coming from. There's no way to solo something while it's live. But if you could basically be like, oh, hey, well, let me go see what this sounds like here, and I could just go listen to it there, that's what I normally do. So I'm going to enable all of these, right? So we're going to say, okay. It's going to ask to restart, but we'll go ahead and let it restart. We're going to be doing a couple of restarts here. There's going to be several restarts that's going to happen here. So let's go back to settings again. We're going to go to output and NDI. So now normally, whenever I'm working in vMix, I like to set up my second full screen to be my multi-view. So this way I can see everything there. I also like to set up my NDIs to be out as well as this because if sometimes I would need to send my program somewhere else or anything like that, having the functionality of the NDI on definitely fucking works. It's the fucking best. That's that for that. And I believe this will be our final restart, and we could just basically just jump into this here. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to kind of do a little makeshift tournament, right? So let's say we have two commentators, right? So we need to start our vMix calls for the two commentators. So we'll go into here. We'll go to vMix call. We'll go to video call. What I normally like to do is I like to reset the password enough until I actually get one that I like. So normally I like to go for something that's 0 and 1. So this way I know who gets the 0, who gets the 1, and it's very easy for me to basically keep track. So I allow direct connections. I will always set it to 1080p so it uses the max bandwidth, and their audio source is going to be bus A. Okay, so whenever you set the video source, which is output 1, which is program, because if we want them to see program, we always want them to see program so they know what's going on in front of them, not something fake. They need to know what's on screen at all times, so they get output 1. Yo, what's good, Jay Schroed? So they get output 1. Output 1 is program, so that's that. The video bandwidth, I'm going to basically use 1080p so that this way they get the full view of it and it's going to be as clean as possible. Next, you never turn on this low latency mode, and I'm going to explain to you the reason why. Low latency mode, for some strange reason, adds buffer to the stream, and it's by far one of the most annoying things ever. So I learned to never use it, and I learned it on a Mortal Kombat Pro Combat Tour show. Boy, was I upset. And I was just like, why is it so laggy for this particular person? So depending on that person's home network, it might not work. So it's always best to not use low latency. But for some reason, some people are going to say, no, use low latency because it works better now. It works the way it's supposed to. So for those people, we're going to turn it on. Okay, so it says enabling low latency will result in significant drop in call quality unless both sides connection are fixed high speed broadbands with no congestion between them. Are you sure about that? So I'm gonna enable it because we're not gonna actually have people come on here. We're just hold on. We're just faking it. Anyway, the only time I've used low latency only once where a client gave us MP4s for all the assets for some reason and the GPU was at almost 100. See, yes, that is what I've seen. But
No, hello, just us.
yeah, if you use performance mode, yeah. So sometimes it's kind of weird. The one thing that I've learned that within the settings, and we're gonna go over that. For some strange reason, when you go to performance and you use high input performance mode, and you basically have to have a graphics card that has over 3 gigs, which I think is stupid because when have you seen a graphics card have lower than 3 gigs? Explain that to me. But whatever. I'm gonna hit cancel because we don't really need that. I'm gonna basically create another video call. Same thing, and it's already a 1, so I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on low latency. Say yes. Say okay, and then boom. So now we have our 2 calls. So when these 2 people come in, they could sit, talk, all that other good stuff. Blah 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 blah. Yakety smackety, all that good shit. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add in some assets so that this way we can kind of set these things up, so that this way we can have things starting to look the way it needs to look, feel the way it's supposed to feel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually use one of our previous. We're gonna use a previous setup that we had. Let's see, package archive. Let's see. All right, for shits and giggles. I don't want to use that stuff.
A gift card?
You guys are seeing too much. I just realized that. We'll use CPT Online from 2 years ago. Is it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? I think it's 3 years ago. It's 4 years ago. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a 2-shot.
You can buy my half and that's another way.
I just realized that this is HTML, so can't just drag and drop. So if we go to, I don't want to use Capcoms. I want to use something that's generic, something that doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles. So we're gonna use this overlays. We never had a 2-cam shot at this. I think there was all full screen.
That does suck though.
Yeah, they were all full screen. So let's go. You know what? We'll use final round. The graphics that we didn't get to use.
Hey, I'll probably die here.
Okay, this isn't here either. Where are all my old packages? You know what? We'll use NEC 2019 because we definitely have a 2-shot here that we could use. All right, we have a 2-shot, and we just need something to play in the background. So I'm gonna go here, go here.
She's like, oh, you're playing Rick the Rain.
No,
Like, yeah.
no charges, no. This is the annoying part: is finding something.
Is it on PC or?
Where are my
Oh, is it
videos?
on your?
This
Turn it off
no.
on Xbox. That's fine.
Here we go. Nope, that's masking.
No, I don't. I only have the Xbox one.
I need something to play in the background, guys.
Hi, Kuka.
Anything. All right. So you know what? We're gonna use this block video and go from there. So now what I normally like to do is
Why is it there?
now we will start to layer things so that this way they work. So to make my life easier, I normally like to do this. Give me 1 second. I have to sneeze.
Oh, that is.
Hold,
It's
please.
too early. He plays Maple Story too much.
Excuse me. Please. Please,
Yeah,
excuse
I'm
me.
so sorry.
Um,
It's not.
all right,
It's
so
still
we
fun.
don't need the audio from this
It
video. We
still
just
works
want the
out.
video to play in the background. It's just a video
He's
that
playing
plays in
for
the
like
background, so audio will not follow video and it will not go to the main.
over 10 years. He's been playing since he was in high school.
So I need to
No, sir.
basically
Keep going.
find something.
Stay away from me.
All right, so normally what I like to
So
do
like,
is
you
I
know,
will
this
go
game is going on.
to
I gotta hop here.
I'll go to
So you gotta
Twitch.
find the teleporter every round, and then you
I'll
gotta
go to
survive
Twitch,
for
then I'll go to
90
like just
seconds.
chatting. And I'll get like two people who are just chatting full screen.
Yeah,
I'm
for
not
like
logged
90
in
seconds.
here.
But you know, you
So
build up your shit.
he's just chatting. See, ad block doesn't work. See? But I'm not even gonna log in right now.
She don't hear you.
Let's go here. We'll wait for the ad to finish and
Die, bitch.
we'll get into it.
Stay off me, ho.
Trying to make sure that I
Or she
support
might
the
not
other
have the
streamers.
headphones
You
on.
get what I'm saying? But what we need is we basically need someone
Mine's big
lined up properly, talking to the stream, so that this way I could go in there
Really? Wow.
and take a picture.
It's awful to laugh, but
Okay, so she's definitely. This is by far one of the craziest IRL streams I've ever seen. Because there's an actual camera operator. Holy shit.
no.
There's a camera operator.
I
And
went
now I have to
yesterday.
see another fucking ad. I normally have images of people already. I just don't have it on this PC. And the PC that it's on is already packed away because it's going to go do something for tomorrow. So you know what? We're going to use her. All right, let's wait for that to go away.
The good stuff. What?
Oh, that's right. This computer does not have that function. All right. You know what? Screw it. I don't care. We're just going to do it however best we can do it. So what we're going to do is I believe we have a commercial break coming soon, but I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. So normally what I'll do is I'll do this. I will go here, create a virtual set, hit blank 10, do this. Go to setup, background is going to be that video. That's just going to keep running. So I minimize that. Then above that on layer 9, I will put the NEC stuff above that. Then for layers 1, I will basically do the first call. And then I will go in,
I'm gonna die.
go to layers, go to the call, shrink the call down, and then with my mouse and keyboard, I'm able to actually move it around. So I could technically do this. Now, it's not going to be perfect, which is the reason why I was like looking for something a little bit more. You know what? I'll find something. This ain't going to take too long. I need something that has like no black. Found something. I found something. Found something. Okay. Minimize.
I have 2 pills that I take now.
Close. All right. So we're gonna loop this and do
Oh
this.
yeah, I used to take
And
that
what we're
little
gonna do is
thing.
we're gonna
You
go
gotta be
back to
careful
the
with that
background
because
and we're gonna
eventually your
change that
hair
to
starts
this. So now it's that. And I think this is what we did use for this particular event.
You're such a
So let's get back into
Oh,
here,
maybe
here,
there is like a
and we
bonus.
will move this up, and I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger.
Oh, my feet. We can take you
All right,
to
boom.
get a BBL. It's fine.
Copy, and then
Looks
what
like
we'll
you're
do is we'll
almost
go
there.
to
Oh,
layer
wait,
two,
wait.
and we will add the other
Okay.
call.
Well, he's
Come
not gonna take that
here,
long anyway. Might
go
like
to
use it more.
3. What I like to do is I'll do this, and then it just makes everything the way it needs to be, and then I can just move this
Oh.
to over here, move it over a little, down a little. It's not gonna be perfect, but
When we played, we got
you could basically do the
second
same
place
thing.
3 times.
All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna close this, get that the hell out of here, close this. So now we have our commentator 2 up. You get what I'm saying? So we have our commentator scene.
Flippy, if you see anything, let me know on Saturday, because that's the day I'm.
Did you guys see an ad? I just realized that it's doing like ads, even though I said for it to not do an ad. Anyway,
If I see anything,
so we had the 2
I
up
think you would like,
and all that good
I'll
stuff.
send you. I'll text you.
No, you didn't see an ad? Perfect.
It's not gonna be busy.
Stream's actually like immaculate on YouTube if you want to. It's public for everyone to see on YouTube. It's there. I'm not telling people to go there. I'm just saying that it's there. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on Kick. I'm live on Twitter. I'm live all of those places. Not telling you to go there specifically, but you can go there. Anyway, so we had the 2 cameras all set. So that's our 2 cameras. So what I normally like to do is I like to go in here and I'll change the general and I'll be like, because it's an online tournament, I'll say commentary. And that's that. And now that's commentary. So now the calls are all set. Commentary's there. So I can minimize that and do all that stuff. Now we need a game feed. Now, this is the part that I like to fuck around and do different things with. Now, for commentary, a lot of times we tend to do things a little different. Not commentary, for game feed, depending on the game. Now, mind you, yes, we are FGC centered, but that doesn't mean that's the only thing that we do. Seeing as that we've done Apex tournaments, we've done Fortnite tournaments, we've done Call of Duty, Warzone for Bud Light. We've done so many different things. We've done celebrity Warzone nights with people, and it's like we needed to be able to like do these different game captures. So what we would do is we would basically create a custom lobby and let them play. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I have a machine that sits upstairs. I normally use it for spectating Street Fighter 6. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to basically open up Parsec so that this way I can remote into that machine because it's on a completely separate network, so I can't just remote in. As you can see, this computer's name is Beast. Are you serious? You're not going to let me do that? Okay, I see what you're doing. It's not letting me do shit now. What the fuck? Hold on 1 second. It's not letting me do a goddamn thing. Hold on.
This mouse pad is so destroyed.
We need to go to Beast. Some programs during when you're trying to do NDI KVM, it doesn't let you do it. So there we go. So we're not gonna do it that way. All right, we're gonna do it another way. I have other ways of doing these things. So we're gonna go to my Nook Extreme. I'm basically gonna move this over. We're gonna move this here, and then we're gonna go to input number 3, which is my desktop, so you can see this. So I'm just gonna start Street Fighter. We're gonna start up OBS, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this up to basically send a feed down to me. Just cause I'm gonna skip this version for now. Okay, so now it's doing what it needs to do. We'll go to settings. And yeah. Give me 1 second because I got to change a setting upstairs. Hold on. I got to go upstairs and change it. Son of a bitch. Give me a
But it's
second.
kind of entertaining. Remember when we used to play Call of
I hear it,
Duty
but I know you guys can't. Give me a second.
with the mics open, Tanya? Remember that many moons ago? When we used to play in we used to always be like a squad of four or like three, so we would never fill the whole party. And then like we would be in group in like voice chat. This was like before Discord, before like all of that, where we didn't have a choice. And they'd be like, "Oh, there's a girl." I'm like, "Oh, there's a boy." And then Tiny be like, "Oh, is that a boy?" and then you, and then like, and then you hear, yeah, we would say all kinds of shit, and then they'd eventually leave us. Oh, hi, Hawiwi. Am I Asian? I can't see. Who is that? Is that Big Spoon? I can't see. Oh, that's right, because I am Asian. So then get the fuck off the game, bitch. Oh, finally. Finally, the item shop is back to its normal big booty self. Mm, mm. Shouldn't have given them shit. Oh, wait, what is this character? Shut up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have that too. Oh, you're asking the ghost if you can write in my butthole all the time, so it's not. It's the one from the. Hello, I am the Yellow Ranger. So you can be any color but pink or yellow. Thank you. Yeah. Oh yeah, Amazon's the Green Ranger, so that's not. Is that one from the? I guess maybe it's a Japanese one. I don't know. Now she's just making up stuff. Okay, big. This is why I don't like playing with women. Jesus, making up their own shit. Oh, you pick white. You pick white. White, and then everything else is whatever color you're picking. Who? with your Red Ranger.
Okay. I don't really care if you can hear it or not. It doesn't really matter at this point anymore.
Oh, be careful with that thing because I had strawberry jelly on my freaking thing.
Okay. Oh, look at that. I got 1,000 drive tickets, guys.
Oh, Tommy, guess what I found in K Town? That strawberry
Oh,
with the sugar on it. I had one. It was good.
okay, so what we're going to try to do now is we're basically going to put this game window so this way
Oh,
we
they
can
have a good
actually
flavor. They
push
have
it
they have
to
grapes.
where it
They have
needs to
strawberry.
go.
They have
And
pineapple.
yeah,
Yeah,
as a matter of
yeah.
fact.
This one was good. Oh look, a new area. Is my gun still
I'm
around?
actually like looking for my mixer.
Come on, Flippy.
All right, so you guys should be able to hear game audio now.
Come on, Big Spoon.
All right, so
Fighting ground.
go here, go to tab, go to options, graphics.
This came out last week.
So I'm gonna do Windows, and just because I want to be able to do this, we'll do this. You can capture it here; it's perfectly fine. All right, I want to go to the battle hub. So I just want to spectate a match. That's all. Yeah, so I'm gonna spectate a match in the battle hub. We're gonna go to. Gonna go to 3. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna set this up to basically send myself a stream. So now the key is here. I'm gonna basically kill the sound.
Yeah.
The key here now is we're basically setting up something where as if this was remote,
Gonna make it.
like a remote Apex, Call of Duty, or something like that. We normally have observers, and during the pandemic, we had to have observers kind of all around the world. And the way that we would get their feed to us was we would utilize a technology called SRT. SRT is pretty fucking cool. It allows us to actually do a lot of amazing things. You could technically do this right within into vMix. You would just basically open up a port on your router. There's a lot of steps that you got to take. You got to open up a port on your router. From there, then you got to do there's videos on this. If you ever want to learn how to do this out there, there's videos out there that explain how to do all of this stuff. All right. I basically have an SRT server that sits in my basement. So if I start the stream here, it's going to start streaming and sending the feed out. I could then basically just, in fact, we're going to do this. We're going to go somewhere where it's not a lot of people, like right here, and we're going to basically spectate. Okay, so we're going to spectate. This is basically being streamed currently. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave this. We're going to disconnect from this, and we're going to basically connect back to the Bifu Beast. Okay, before I was using the NDI stuff, but I kind of want to just use this. Let's get back to here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into good old vMix, and we're going to go to stream SRT. So we're going to go down to an SRT caller, since that's what I'm going to be using, because normally would use a listener. in the video it will kind of explain that, but because I'm using an SRT server, we can basically just use the caller because we're going to call to an address. So I'm going to use my
Oh, Jesus Christ.
live.bifuteki.gg, and that's the port that I have it
Wait, I must
to
wait.
listen on. And once I do that, boom, just like that, Street Fighter 6 is now here, and we basically
Where
have the
am I
game
going?
plus
Where
the
am I going?
audio.
No, that's
So
why, like, I don't know
all
where your
is
card is.
well. Wouldn't
That's
you
why I was like,
agree?
where do I gotta
All right,
go?
so now we have our game for our commentators to basically
There's,
commentate on.
yeah, there's
Let's see. Now,
everywhere flying around.
there is the trick of overlays.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know.
Now, I know a lot of us, we have our different methods of doing overlays. We have our methods of using either stream control. We have so many different things. There's so many different things, but a lot of them are HTML
Nope.
based. And what's crazy about it is that if you want your HTML overlays to work, there is a very long, lengthy guide that I used to use, and I cannot find it for the life of me. I have to ask my boys that formerly worked at Waveform to see if they still have access to that guide, because that guide literally did everything.
I feel like
So like you would basically have to install like Apache and PHP and all that other stuff, and basically your files would have to sit in the root. And once it's sitting in the root, then you're able to use the HTML files locally and basically have the scoreboard update and all that good stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little bit more basic and generic. So I'm already got OBS open here because I'm actually using this for my just chatting. So here, like, watch this. So if I go back to my just chatting, so like you see this video that's here and this and the other. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to basically go to a completely different scene. If I go to a completely different scene, it's gone. Okay? It's gone. It's gone. So I'm currently using this for my background because, yeah. And these guys just finished playing and they're going to piss me off. Whatever. We don't care. We were able to see the match. We're able to see the game. That's all that really matters for us right now. That's what we care about. Now, let's get to the overlay part here. Now, what I would normally do is I used to do this little trick that worked for me. Now, I have to make sure that this has a particular item installed. It doesn't. So we're going to install that real quick. OBS NDI is a wonderful tool. It allows you to do so many magical things. In fact, you know what? I'm not even going to use that. I think I have XSplit on here, and I can just use XSplit to do it. I don't think I have XSplit. Do I have XSplit? No, I don't. Yeah, XSplit's not on this computer because I remember I was like, XSplit's never going on this machine. And I'm going to keep it that way. XSplit's not going on this machine. So what I'm going to do is I am basically going to do this. I'm going to quickly install OBS NDI real quick. Fuck, no, I can't. I can't. I mean, I could quickly show you how to do overlays in GT Tyler, so we'll do that. So we'll go into GT Tyler Design. It's its own program that runs. When you first look at it, you're like, holy shit, this looks like Microsoft Paint. But this is so much better than Microsoft Paint, and my shit is doing that fucking pink line shit. Let's get back to the computer here. I just saw the pink line here. I didn't see it on stream, so it could just be a once in the blue thing. Either way, so what this is basically GT Titler, and we're able to actually do different things with it. It allows us to do some very magical things. In fact, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to run the overlays from here. How does that sound, guys? You know what? We're gonna do that. But first, I'm gonna show you GT Titler, which allows you to do some magical things. The only issue that I have with GT Titler is when you're constantly having to change names, change scores, and stuff like that. It can become very tiresome to go in and change this and then change that and then change this and then change that. But I'm gonna show you. It's basically like Photoshop. You could have the different layers and all that good stuff, and within each layer, you can have certain things be there. Um, and it gives you the ability to kind of control things. There's a full, you know what? I'm not even gonna go into it. There's a full guide that you could get into with this and just do things this way. It's immaculate. It's great. It's awesome. I love it. It's great. Now, I am basically going to use another instance of OBS here, and I'm gonna say launch anyway. Since you guys can see my desktop, I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna open up a new scene collection. I'm gonna call it overlays, and I'm gonna bring it over here, and I'm gonna create a new profile, and it's gonna be called overlays. We're not gonna do the auto wizard. All right, so I'm basically not gonna care. I'm gonna use whatever overlays I can find, and I have some that are here, that's in here that I could definitely use. So we're gonna use Capcom Pro Tour 2021, 2020, 2019.
No, did you see what happened to me?
Yeah, we'll use 2019. So basically, if I needed to,
Free?
I think what's great about this is we have so many different that we can use.
I said, what?
So we're just gonna use the scoreboard because that's all we really need. So 2019 overlays.
I'm dead.
We're gonna go here and we're gonna basically say, hey, scoreboard, you come here. Scoreboard, boom. All right. So
Wait, where you
you took your time. You definitely took your time. Which makes me feel like I need to do something else. So I'm gonna do this. And we're gonna go here, here. Why do I have a feeling that this is already here?
Just taking a gander.
It is. Alright, so we're gonna delete this one because I don't like that one. I don't like how slow that was. Because that's coming from my server. And yeah. Alright, let's move this over to here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright. This is taking. It's okay. It's all right. So first things first, what we're going to want to make sure that we're doing is we have to go to advanced, and we're going to make sure that we are actually working in a 444 color space, because then that allows us to have transparencies. What we're also going to do is we're going to basically set it up to do an NDI output. So if I do an NDI output, OBS overlays, boom, done. All right, so I'm gonna minimize this. I'm gonna go back to the Bifu Beast. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna add an NDI source.
And there's someone over there. Someone over there too.
And
someone's in the gas station, just so you know.
where are you? Where are you?
You ain't getting in that. You ain't getting in that. One's knocked. One's above you, big spoon.
It'd be crazy if someone knew that I was streaming and just was like, hey, he's streaming. I'm going to end up on his stream.
You thought. I don't have no more rockets. Does anybody have rockets?
I'm just going to do this. I'm going to make my life easier. Because I know that the OBS NDI has like a fucking horrible time sometimes dealing with this shit.
Yes. 4
So I'm basically going to do this. Filter here, apply changes, close. So now if I go back to here, I see it now. Definitely see it now.
Come, come.
Come. We'll go to this.
You said east?
See, like, it shows up twice, but whatever. All right,
No,
boom.
I can't.
So we have it now. So now what's cool about this is that we could basically have this come in, or we could just basically layer it on, which is something I prefer to do. I prefer to layer my graphics on, so that this way it's there. All right, so boom. Now, if I ever wanted to create the whole animation or CD start animation, I would normally create like a blank one here, and on my stream deck, it does whatever it needs to do. Now, what's crazy about this is you need to go into your properties, make sure that this refreshes and shuts down whenever it's not visible, so that this way it doesn't show anything. So as you can see, it's not showing anything. But the moment that I bring it up, and the moment it animates here, which should be in 3, 2, 1, it animates there. So you guys got to come back for that other lesson when it comes to showing you guys how to create all of that stuff. All right. Now, so that's our scoreboard, all that good stuff. Now, I feel at this point you're pretty much set. You just need your start, stop, all that stuff. Your start, your break. If you have a bracket that you want to show, you can show a bracket. Just different assets could be just added into here. Now, the reason why I'm basically saying that vMix is basically king is because, remember, I said vMix call is basically your best way of being able to communicate with your talent. So within vMix call, you have this nice little chat here. So you can basically just sit here and type to them, and they could type back. So, like, let's say one of your commentators is like, yo, I really got to go to the bathroom. They could type that and be like, yo, I got to go. And then you can reply back, yo, how much time you need? And literally, how much time you need? They'll say, oh, I need like about 5-10 minutes. Okay, cool. Got you. Go ahead, do your thing. They go, they poop. It's like they come back and, they finish a show. You finish a show strong after having that nice little push out. But I feel that vMix is king because it incorporates everything all into one place. Like, if you ever need anything, guess what? You ain't got to go anywhere else. You don't have to go elsewhere for these things. Like, yes, I'm using my overlays from what you call is because it's something I coded, but you know what? Just for you guys, I'm going to... We're going to go through the whole GT titler design, and I'll show you how this basically works. So how this works is you get an image. All right, so this image I'm going to basically pull from here, and I'm going to pull from Summer Jam 2024 because none of this stuff was coded.
There's a big one.
All of this stuff ends up going someplace else. So we'll use the Street Fighter 6 scoreboard, and that's that for that, right? So then what we'll do is we'll add another layer. We'll add a layer on top of that. We could then add text. And when it says for text, we basically can say, hey, I want the text to be from here on. All right, boom. So that's my text block. I could then say, hey, I want the text to be to the right, or to the left, or centered. You fully have the ability to put the text where you want it to be. The thing I don't like about this is that you never really get to see it. Same can be done for the other side. Boom. And we'll basically make it centered. I don't really like making them centered. I normally like making them to be as close to the score as possible, so that this way it could be done a particular way. So text blocks 1, P1 name, and you're gonna see why I'm doing this. P2 name. All right, so P1 name, P2 name. All right, so I'm gonna basically move this up 1. So it's above that one. Okay. So then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create one for the score. And
Oh, look, a glider.
basically
Or
going to do
that's
that.
what I'm
We're going
doing.
to center it.
A
And
blue
then we're
one.
going to
So
come in here. And we're going to put a 0. All right.
Can I touch this one before?
So now we can move this over.
I didn't see no big pop for you.
All right. So I feel like that's
Oh,
centered.
there's an airplane coming?
And
Where is it?
we can make this P1
Oh, above.
score. We can move this down to be under P1. And then we'll do another one. Another one.
And it disappeared? Nuts.
0.
Purple is middle.
Delete, 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 delete. 0.
No, that's okay.
Center
You
it.
want to take...
How does that look?
Say, do you want to take mine then?
You.
I'll switch it, I guess. And put the 4 rockets that I have in, in this one.
I feel like right there would be good.
That's fine. Purple's middle.
All right. And then what we'll do is we'll drag this down. And we'll change the name.
Where you want to go?
So it's going to be P2 score. And then we'll do one more for round. Okay. And we will center this one because that's what this is. And then we'll say round. All right. And then this one, we will just type in round. Okay. And then just like that, we're all set. All right. So then what I'll do is I'll go here. I could just hit Control S.
Oh, someone's shooting.
Should pop up and be like, what you want to save? Let me get rid of the Street Fighter one that we just had there. So we'll save as Tech Talk score. All right, it saves it to my documents so that this way if I ever need to pull it back up, I can just pull it back up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to close this and we're going to get rid of this. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to then now go into here. We're going to go to title. We're going to go to recent and boom. Tech Talk scoreboard is there. Round, P1 name, P1 score, P2 name, P2 score. And that's basically it. So now, like I told you, we like to layer our things here so that this way it makes our life a whole lot easier. And mind you, whatever fonts you have on your computer, you could basically take advantage of those fonts as well by putting them in. I didn't get to show y'all that, but you totally have the full capability of using whatever font you have installed on your computer. A lot easier than trying to figure out the exact way of writing it in HTML. Trust me, it's the best thing ever. Now, I could go in here and I could basically say this is Grand Finals.
Oh my gosh.
That's not how you spell finals. Grand Finals. P1 will say his name is.
They all have crowns. He's healing. Now's your chance.
Tomahawk, and the other guy's name is Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull. And boom, you're all set. All right, so you got a scoreboard working, all that good stuff. So, you know, I'm basically going to do this. I am going to go to web browser, and we're going to use the downtime from, you know what, fuck that. You know what? Nah, fuck it. We still gonna do it. We're gonna use the downtime from.
Mhm.
We're gonna use the same overlay package. We're gonna use the Capcom stuff. You know, they have a downtime setup and all that other stuff. I just need to find CPT 2019.
Are you still on East Coast time?
Here. Package archive, Capcom 2019, broadcast package, downtime. Now, I only have this package because I've done a couple of these. So we'll say okay. We'll minimize. I don't think this one will work.
Ooh. there's, like,
Reload
these different
page.
helmets you can get.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely have to do that stupid little
But the one with the whole
fake website running from home type of thing.
Meanwhile, we got big
All right, so we'll just basically use the same intros that we used here. So we'll just drop those in.
No, but when she was like,
So we'll drop in our intro video. We'll use the CPT intro video because this shit's so godlike. And yeah. All right, we'll go to Package Archive 2020, and we'll use my drippy animation because that's how we're gonna start.
oh, I want to do that.
So we go to that. You know,
Here, Tanya.
we can set it to
Here, you
loop,
do it, Tanya.
so it just loops. And it's like, okay, we're gonna go into our
Here.
tournament scene. Okay, we could fade that in. Does a little thing, plays the music, pumping up. Da, 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 da. All right, boom. From this, we could just fade into the commentary. Commentators welcome everyone into what's going on. You know, they say we got a bunch of matches going on. Blah 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 blah. All right, let's get to the first match. We could then fade into it. Boom. First match. Da, da, da. Well, whatever. We're in grand finals.
Our things are the same
Like,
color as our.
I feel that this way is by far one of the better ways. Well, is quite possibly the best way because, again, we don't have to go to Video Ninja to bring people in. We don't have to find a way to bring them in from Video Ninja using OBS and all this, that, and the other. Because one thing that I've learned is the more we start to rely on other things, the more encoding our CPU and GPU are using. Within vMix, like, I could literally show you the freaking task manager, and yes, this computer's a beast. Yes, it's a beast, but
There's only a few vehicles I'm allowed in.
hold
You
on.
can ask Amazon.
Let's see. Let's bring the GPU in. And what's this? GPU engine. Okay, so GPU is at 57%. 13% is only being used by vMix. 13. So, and I'm actually encoding this. I'm decoding this, and this stream that's being decoded is, yeah, I believe it's HEVC.
Okay, why did any of my shots hit?
I can basically tell you what it is by just looking right here.
Better fall. Better fall. Hang on. Behind us, Slippy.
So like you can basically do all of this stuff. But if you guys have any questions for me right now, you could go ahead and ask right now. If you don't want to ask right now, you're more than welcome to DM me on Twitter. You could DM me here on Twitch,
I'm coming down this staircase.
YouTube, all that stuff. You could literally just ask. If you want to leave a comment in the comments, you can leave a comment in the comments and shout at me, and we can go from there. Depending on where you're watching this. If you're watching this on Kick, I suggest you message me on Twitter. Just say, hey, I saw your stream on Twitch. I would love to know more about streaming on vMix. I'll send you the primer. I'll send you a Discord link for you to join. I'll send you 2 Discord links for you to join because we're always talking geek shit in my Discord. I feel like there are no real questions. Now, I know a lot of people have been trying to use vMix for like regular home streaming, it's not for that. I feel this is more catered, like you can do a regular day-to-day streams, because I know Best of V uses vMix. I know there's a couple of other people who use vMix for their day-to-day streams. Whenever they stream daily, they will use this because they like the tools that comes with it, and they're not really doing much of anything else. But if you're doing like day-to-day streams, I feel like OBS is it. But if you want to take your tournament streams to the next level and you're doing a bunch of online tournaments and stuff like that, this right here, this shit right here, boy, is the shit. All right. So we are pretty much getting to be to that point where we're running out of time, because I said I was only going to do this from 7:30 to 9. Because yeah, I'm gonna bring myself back up. In fact, hold on. Before I can bring myself back up, I first need to get my just chatting background back on. Yay. Alright, so my just chatting background is back. So I can basically definitely go back. Hold on. Something's not right. I see it there. Cancel. Filter. Do this. And then do this. Okay. It's back. All right. That plugin is so that right there I think is a prime example of why I'm not a fan of a lot of the plugins that Twitch has. Not Twitch. OBS has. I'm sorry, because I'm looking at Twitch chat, because I'm looking at somebody. A lot of plugins tend to fail at random points. And it can be very... It's one of those things that could basically make you feel like shit, because of the simple fact that it was like, oh shit, it was just working yesterday, it's not working today. Or you have a moment where you turn something on, it's not working, and it's just like, what the fuck? So then you have to turn it off and then turn it back on. That tends to work 30% of the time. Any other time, won't work. Like, for some strange reason, it doesn't always work. But like I said, when it comes to doing all of these things within certain things, like normally I'll be using Casper to deliver this and all this other shit. I didn't have this machine set up until today. And now that I have this machine set up today, I'm basically going to... I wanted to quickly use it for this. It's only because I just got back home, so please excuse me. With that said, if you guys have questions, please message me anywhere. You can reach out and DM me. My DMs are always open for you guys. Always. And I'm not going to rate anybody. With that being said, I'm going to say peace out to everyone. We have roughly about 5 minutes. So yeah, I'm going to say peace out to everyone. I'm going to say much love to everybody for tuning in. Hopefully this gets you guys inspired to do other things. One of these days, I think for Tech Talk Thursday next week, it's not going to happen because it's Thanksgiving. But the week after, we're going to go into... I want to do a couple of different things with you guys. Like, one of these things is like, what if? Like a what if situation. Like, hey, what if I wanted to do this offline tournament, but I wanted to do it vertical for TikTok? How can I go about doing that? And how can I go about actually capturing that? I want to basically set up something where we could actually have that demonstrated for you guys. So be sure to look out for that sometime after Thanksgiving. With that said, I'm going to go because I'm going to go play some Call of Duty offline because it's been making me curse a lot, and I'm trying not to curse as much on stream. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm trying my best to clean up my act. Okay? But good night. See you all when I see you guys. I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. I'll probably do an IRL stream from Canada. All right. Bye.